All right, got an easy question. How do I know when it is time to raise my rates? Okay, there's a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is probably now. Almost any person that you are working for, whom you are doing a good job for, you can probably go back and say, hey, I did a good job. Here's my results, yada, yada, yada. Going forward, I'm going to have to raise my rates a little bit. Every business understands that they have to contend with inflation. And so it makes sense that at least once a year that you go back to your existing clients and be like, sorry, guys, my bills have gone up, so I had to pass those costs along. My rates are going up 10%. The longer answer is if you are at the point where you're working for either so many different clients or you're doing so much work for one client that you absolutely cannot keep up with all of it, you need to sort of self-assess and look at every single thing that you're doing and either look at the things that are the least reward to time spent ratio. If you are, for example, getting paid $3,000 by 3 different clients, but you find that client 1, you can get the same amount of money, but it takes way more time, you need to go to that client and then explain to them and sell yourself and sell them on the idea that you need to raise your rates with them. And however you explain that is entirely up to you. Just use persuasive principles and understand whom you're talking to and what their needs are. Again, selling to businesses and talking to businesses and persuading businesses is effectively the same thing as persuading a customer. You have to understand where they're coming from, what their emotions are, what they feel and care about and desire, and then appeal to those things, and then explain why those things mean they should pay you more money. Easy. Say you have the same money coming in from 4 different clients and you're doing the same amount of work in terms of actual time spent, but you want to scale up higher, or you've just brought on a 5th client that has way more money. Go to one of your original clients and test. Go to them and be like, hey, we just onboarded this other client. We're charging this amount of money for this amount of work that we're doing for you. Unfortunately, as a result of bringing on so much extra work, we've encountered overflows. And I do not want to diminish or damage the quality of work that you are getting. With the extra money that I can bring from you, it will allow me to scale up my team such that we can keep delivering the amazing service, blah, 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 blah. That's how you arrange your pitch. Another thing too is you can always just fire your original clients. Once you get better paying clients, you can just fire them. That way you never have to have the awkward conversation of hey, pay me more. You can just pitch people until you get a better, more expensive, higher paying client. Then you go to your original clients and be like, yo, it was amazing working with you. Here's a reference to somebody who can do also an amazing job, even better than me, as a matter of fact. Take them, go with God, all the best. I've loved working with you, yada, yada. Stay in touch, and I hope we do business again in the future. Boom, done. You fired your client, and now you have a better, higher paying client that you've just onboarded. That's how you raise your rates, a few different ways. Now, if you're working in-house, why do I even bother giving in-house advice? None of you care about working in-house. Working in-house is such a fucking cheat code for getting so goddamn skilled and rich in this fucking business, and nobody wants to fucking even think about it. But if you're thinking about it and you want to make more money working in-house, well, here's what you do if you want to raise your rates. Don't commit the mistake that most people who ask for a raise commit, which is you go in and you think that you're entitled to a raise. No, you are not entitled to a raise unless you have proof that you are entitled for a raise. And what proof do business owners care about? Your results. I don't care what kind of copy you write. Show what was happening before you were hired, show what has happened after you have been hired, and be like, do you see how line go up? Line go up mean your line go up, which mean my line go up. Don't actually speak like that, but again, use proof, use persuasion, speak the language of your prospect, which in this case will be your boss. Understand where they're coming from, and then shift your appeals such that you actually are persuasive to them. Because here's the thing. Your boss, believe it or not, wants to pay you more money because your boss does not want to lose an asset. Your boss wants to get rid of as many expenses as possible. So your job when asking for a raise is to convince your boss that you are a valuable asset who drives lots of great results and revenue, either directly or indirectly for the business, and that they should not only keep you on, but also pay you more so that you can continue to drive those kinds of results. But if you go into these meetings and you don't have proof and your boss thinks you're an expense and you ask for a raise, your boss is going to be thinking, oh man, I already spend this much money on this motherfucker. Like, why would I want to spend more money? I mean, your clients, if you're a freelancer, they're going to be thinking the same thing too, which is why proof and persuading people is so very important. Use the principles of direct response copy, or any sort of copy really, to persuade people to give you more money, especially if you work for them. Anyway, if you do that for the boss that you work for in-house, your boss will have no choice but to see you as an asset, not as an expense. If they don't see you as an expense, they will keep you on. And that's the full answer. I mean, I guess this would be a good place for a sales pitch. Copywriting Career Copilot, the CCC, that's a sort of like basic like outreach focused thing. I'm sure there will be a link in the description below. Yeah, it's really good. And there's like 45 videos that deep dive onto all this stuff. Go buy that. It's so good. It's super helpful. Will it like guarantee your success? No. What if you're an idiot? I have no idea. But if you use that and you're pretty smart and you're driven, you work really hard, you apply the things that we're telling you in that, yeah, you'll probably be successful. So go check that out. Use the advice that I just gave you in this video. You probably don't even need a paid product based on what I just gave you in this video. Let's be completely freaking real. Anyway, buy our stuff. That was the sales pitch. Bye.